Hello, everyone. We're back.
Yes, we are. We're back in the States and we're all excited to talk to you about Virgin Voyages this evening and our experience aboard the Scarlet Lady. So, we will give everybody a couple of minutes to get in here before we get going. I do realize kind of messing with people's brains a little bit being on a Sunday evening. So, super excited to be doing that. We're going to change things up a little bit for the fall winter season. We're going to try doing Sundays for the next few months just because how busy we are with Nick and everything going on at home.
Yeah.
Plus, we might be able to do a few things in location a little bit over the next few months if we do things on Sundays instead.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Wow. What a week. Man, we have been running since literally last Saturday, actually.
Friday for me.
Friday for you. Well,
No,
for both of us.
Both of us,
Yeah,
because
for
you got
both
home
of
in
us.
time.
Yeah, I got home.
So real quick, before we get any further, if you are popping in here, whether it's the replay or you're watching us live, thank you so much. And do us a favor, drop a comment down below. Let us know where you're from.
Yeah.
I always love reading those, especially when they pop up after the fact. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
cool.
And hey, I want to give a special thanks out to the 403 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
We do appreciate all the love and support you guys continue to give to us. And if you haven't told anybody about us, please let everybody know about Plum Crazy Adventures. And let's try to get that number to 500 by next month. So it's pretty exciting. So thank you, everybody, and welcome to the family.
Yep. It's plum crazy.
Yep. All right. Well, we got 3 up there, 5 down here. Let's start talking about it. So,
yeah.
All right. Last Saturday, we took off and we went to Pittsburgh International Airport and boarded a Southwest jet down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And
I know. You had a hard time with doing that in the travel video, too.
Yeah, because I wanted to say Orlando. I don't know how many times I wanted to say
Hi, Deb.
Orlando.
Thanks for joining us.
So we stayed at, I'll let you talk about it because, man, I'm thirsty tonight.
Obviously, we did take a nonstop with Southwest. It's been a few years since we've used Southwest. Great service. Little different. We've been flying Spirit a lot just because of the cost.
Yeah.
So it was really weird when they came around and they're like, "What would you like to drink?" And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah."
we forgot about that. But yeah.
So yeah, it was great service. It was a fast flight. Got down to Fort Lauderdale, and I have never been in that airport before. I can say, Mom's in the house. I love it. So, thanks, Deb. So super excited to be able to check out Fort Lauderdale Airport. Super easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were only in Terminal 1. There's actually 4 different terminals, but we were in the biggest one. Super simple to get around. And didn't have too much time to wait for our bags. And then I called the hotel we were staying at, and they sent their shuttle over, and it picked us up within 5 minutes.
Yep.
So we weren't out there in that blustering heat for very long, and went to Le Meridian, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach, literally basically just across the street from the airport.
Yeah.
And wow, what a hotel.
Yeah, and we are going to have a video of this beautiful hotel, resort, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to tell you what, I didn't want to leave this place. This thing was gorgeous. Like it reminded me of a Disney or Universal resort hotel, basically, to me.
Kind of a cross between like Dockside Inn and Suites at Universal and I'm trying to think of the other one that I mentioned. I was like, man, this really reminds me of it.
I got Grand Floridian vibes. I really did.
A little bit of Grand Floridian, yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, because it had like the island and the beachy and the clean line feeling that Dockside has.
Yeah.
But the elevated yacht club. That's the one.
Yeah, yacht club.
Has that more elevated feeling like the Disney's Yacht Club resort has.
Very sophisticated hotel.
Yes. So, and we really enjoyed our stay there. We got in late. It was raining like you wouldn't believe. So we were really glad that we had that shuttle service.
Very glad.
And basically we were like, okay, we're just going to do room service because we're tired. We don't want to deal with it. Mike says hello there from Reno. Yay! Thank you. And had room service. It was really good. The room service was actually from the restaurant downstairs. So definitely recommend that. And then the next morning we got up and we didn't have to check out until noon. So we explored the hotel a little bit, got to check out the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Really sad we didn't get to swim in the pool the night before.
Yeah.
And had breakfast. So definitely well worth going and checking out this hotel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's literally right at the end of almost at the parallel with the end of the runway.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally lay on your bed and you could look out the window with the curtains open and stuff, and you could see the planes taking off. So I was in hog heaven there. So
yes. So that was really nice. It was literally on the other side of I-95. So the I-95 was kind of cutting between us and the airport, but you went underneath of it. You didn't have to like get up onto it and then get back off or anything like that. So that was really great. The other thing that I really liked about it is they do currently offer a free shuttle in order to get back and forth to the airport, which is great. And it is a really easy Uber ride if you are going to be going out of the Fort Lauderdale airport or not airport, cruise port,
there you
or like what we did, and we used it to go down to the Miami cruise port, just because pricing and the locals agreed pricing is always way better to fly into Fort Lauderdale than it is to fly into Miami. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, totally. And the Uber ride over to the Fort Lauderdale port is probably at a max 10 minutes. Maybe even
because we could see the cruise port and the cruise ships from our hotel.
So it might be quicker than that.
But
for us, like we said, we flew into Fort Lauderdale and we cruised out of the Miami port. So for us, it was about a 30-minute drive down to the port. And that depends on traffic and stuff on 95 and everything like that. So
because ironically, when we were going down, because we gave ourselves like an hour to get there, even though it was only about 30 minutes. We drove down and I-95 northbound was like slowed down to almost a crawl, like it was almost stopped on the way down. And then coming back up from Miami back to Fort Lauderdale Airport on our return day, I-95 South was like at a standstill. It was the weirdest thing. So
it was easy. It was a quick and easy trip. This was our first time using Uber also. Both ways.
We'll definitely do that again.
It was a really good experience. To be honest with you, we were a little nervous about using Uber. We've heard horror stories and we've also heard positive stories. So it was kind of one of those things.
We've known several people that have done it too. So that was the other thing where we're just like I know the people we know were really nice, but what if we get one of the crazies? And it was just one of those things that we just needed to try, and so that way we can report back to you guys and let you know that, hey, it's pretty easy to do. So I don't know about you, but you were the one that did everything on the app. So how was it? So the app was really easy. So I was able to put in my location and then where it was that I wanted to go. And then it gave me a list of options. I'm not going to lie, I just picked the cheapest one, which was an Uber X. And they were like, okay, there's somebody that's going to be here in 2 to 4 minutes. And it actually showed the car like turning around and coming over towards us. And then as they were pulling up, it gave me gave me a push notification and said, hey, your driver is here via text message, because I do have text set up with the app as well. And it said they will wait for 2 minutes, and then after that they will leave. So that's something to be aware of. You want to make sure that you're actually ready to go when you order that Uber. So I went outside and we were able to put our bags in the back. Absolutely wonderful woman that drove us down to the Port of Miami. And she had actually only been down there one other time. And she's like, oh, she goes, apparently it was the Everglade, like the other one that I brought people over to. Because she goes, I don't remember this. But she was really sweet and was telling us all about things down there, because she is a transplant. So, which is always interesting. Hearing people's stories.
So the Uber was great. The hotel was great. By the way, we do, like I said before, we are going to have a video coming out soon about the hotel that we stayed at up in Fort Lauderdale.
That will be the next video out.
We just put out our travel day video just this morning. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you stop by and watch that on YouTube. And we will be having a video updating the construction at the Pittsburgh airport coming up soon. And
in
then
the next week or two.
Yeah.
It's just going to depend on when we can get out there and weather.
Right. And then we're going to have embarkation day for the Virgin Voyage cruise. And then we're going to do some little things here and there and just kind of show you different things. And just there's going to be a few more videos and stuff kind of showcasing some of the stuff that we did. We've got the restaurants, we've got the room tours that's on the ship and stuff. And there's just a lot of videos that are going to be coming out here in the next few weeks. So
and bear with me with my editing on all of these, because one con I have with Virgin Voyages, and it's a small one, but it's me. It's all the music is very loud. Everywhere. And so in order for us to film things, a lot of this stuff is going to have to be dubbed over or done in a different way that I am not necessarily as versed in. So it's going to take me longer to get things edited. So bear with me as I navigate that, and hopefully it comes out great.
It will.
But I don't want to get slammed with a bunch of copyright because of all of the songs and stuff that they play, which is fantastic. I mean, if I wasn't editing and having to do all this videoing and stuff for all of you, it probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But I remember distinctly getting annoyed a couple of times because I was like, seriously?
It was like every 4 feet there was a speaker, and every time you stop to record something, you're like,
I was safe, and then boom, and I was like, oh, guess not.
So anyway, we got to the port with the Uber. Let's get back to this. Now, what was your first impression of the ship itself when you saw it?
Okay, so I got to see the ship first because I was sitting behind the driver, and as we come around the corner, I was like, oh my gosh, there she is, because you go up over the little causeway and then back down in. You got to go down into the cruise port and then turn around, come all the way back up. So as we are at the top of the causeway, I was able to look over, and I was able to look into the cheeky sea terraces at the back of the ship, because it's literally butted up against that causeway, that highway right there. Wow, she's big. Bigger than I expected. We had just been on Wonder of the Seas a couple of months prior in June, and so I was expecting something a little bit smaller on scale with things that we've sailed on before. That was not the case.
No.
Just a little bit smaller than Wonder, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit smaller than Wonder.
But not by much.
Oh my God, when I first saw it, I was just stunned by the beauty of the ship. I mean, she's not your average white ship like you always would see. She's a great gray color with the red highlight accents and stuff like that.
Red and black.
Yeah, and I absolutely just loved the way the ship looked. I mean, it just screamed like an elegant ship, you know?
Like an old steamer, like from the 1920s.
Yeah, they always had that real high front end on the front of them and stuff. Kind of
and then the smokestacks in the middle.
I never even thought about that. That's a really good comparison about what she looks like. But yeah, it was amazing, just that first glimpse and just seeing her, and I just still at awe, just like at these size of these ships, and thinking, how do they float?
Right.
Like, how do these things float? Because
and then the closer that you get, and you're going like this.
And you're looking.
You're like, uh-oh.
And I'm telling you, this there was 17 floors on this.
Yes.
And probably altogether, it would be like a 20-story building, something to that effect. At least, maybe just a smidge taller here and there, but man, she was tall. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And then the driver drops us off where we get out to drop our luggage and everything. We take our luggage and give it to the bellhops. And
this was really simple, and this was something I was stressing about. Okay, so as soon as she pulls up, we literally see the ahoy sailors, and like this is where you're supposed to go. On the other side is where they had the luggage takers, and so as soon as we pulled up and stuff, there was one that was coming towards us and like, hey, like, welcome aboard. Let's get your luggage done and stuff. And he brought us over and he asked us for our cabin or our deck number. We gave that to him. He wrote down some information. He put the tags on our luggage that we were checking to be brought on for us. And he's like, okay, go right through those double doors because your time's now. You can go ahead and go.
Yeah.
I will say our boarding time was at 3:00.
Yep.
That was our scheduled time. We got there about 2:20 because, like I said, we tried to give ourselves about an hour to get there in case we hit traffic.
Yep.
And they were already boarding all of us, and they people queued. We were able to literally walk right in, show them with our boarding time. They said, okay, go right on in. Walked up the escalators. There was no wait. Got a couple of photos and stuff at the top of the escalators. I swear we spent more time walking to our check-in than we did actually getting our check-in.
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. And wow, what a terminal. Like, it's
Beautiful.
Beautiful terminal. I mean, they've sunk some serious money into this terminal.
Yeah.
And
all these huge red couches everywhere. And I'm like, there's not a single person sitting there.
No, because
wait a second.
Well, and here's the thing: like, if the weather is bad outside, they got to have people somewhere to put the people. You know, they can't just leave them standing. There was canopies and stuff where they dropped you off and everything, but
yeah, it's all undercover, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to have room for people, but my God, the inside of this thing was huge. I just couldn't believe it. And gorgeous, beautifully decorated. Wait till you guys see the embarkation day video. You're going to see what we're talking about right now.
Oh, man.
But, it was gorgeous. And the check-in process, smooth, fast. Just like before
5
I
minutes.
realized it, we were like literally walking the gangplank to go across onto the ship. And Megan starts shaking her butt and dancing to the guy that's making her dance. You'll see that in the video too. I was like, I couldn't believe she started dancing. This is going to be a fun cruise. She's already started walking into the ship, and we were greeted by the most friendly staff, gorgeous staff too, good-looking staff. I'm not going to lie. There were some good-looking ladies on there. So
we were greeted by one of their team, their happenings team. And he was like, hey, like, do you know where you're going? Do you know what you want to do? And I was like, hey, like, is our cabins ready? And he goes, of course they are. Yeah. Okay. Like, most of the time your cabins aren't ready. As soon as you get on the ship, you gotta wait. I was like, well, heck, like I had my laptop bag with us because I didn't want to check it. So I was like, well, let's go drop that off. And then we'll go and we'll get something to eat somewhere or whatever and kind of get ourselves acclimated before sail away. And so that's what we did. And literally from the time that our Uber driver dropped us off, we got off of and got out of her car to walking into our cabin and going, oh my God.
Yep.
23 minutes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
23 minutes. And that's waiting for elevators.
Yeah.
Because we boarded on deck 7 and then we had to go to deck 11 because deck 11 was where our cabin was.
Yeah, I was completely stunned. And sorry, I thought I saw something new pop up. I was completely stunned about how fast we literally got into our room. From the Uber driver to our room, 23 minutes. I mean, that was just amazing. So kudos to the whole Virgin Voyage team for making that loading process
so easy.
So easy.
I'm telling you what, hands down, best experience I've ever had with cruising.
Yeah, mine too.
Boarding.
So now we're in the room. This is our first view of the room, and most
overlooking Miami.
Yeah, literally overlooking Miami. Most of your cabins and your cruise ship stuff are going to be tiny. This one was a small one, but to be honest with you, it wasn't that bad. I felt very at home inside this cabin.
I felt like the cabin itself was pretty roomy. The balcony was roomy. The bathroom was not.
Yeah, the bathroom was tight. I'm not going to lie. It was very tight.
I have bruised elbows just because, like, washing my hair and then bam, like into like everything. And so as a heads up, I mean, I'm 5'8", 5'9" ish. Scott's just over 6 foot. Thank God they had the rainfall shower head because that was great when I needed to wash my hair. But otherwise, it was definitely a little tight.
Yeah.
But you have that across the industry.
Yeah.
So.
And there's not a single, unless you get like a grand ship that you go on and you pay bigger bucks.
Haven't been on Disney yet. Disney's is supposed to be better, bigger, but we'll see.
We'll have to check that out. But yeah, the bathroom was a little tight. The bed was nice, but it was a little solid. But it just felt like it was a mattress laying on a hard board, basically. And you know, it was okay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're tired. You don't really care. You're going to sleep. But by the end of the week, I was definitely ready to get back home to my bed because we got the foam padding and everything
like
else.
Soft beds.
Yeah. So that was a little tough to sleep on. But my God, that balcony and the hammock.
The hammock. I want the hammock.
Megan fell asleep. You were out there for a good 2 hours at one time. Yeah. There was a couple.
I was reading a book once, and another time I fell asleep, and enjoying the hammock.
Yeah, just watching the waves go by in the ocean. But yeah, and there's 2 chairs out there, and there's a small little round table. There's definitely room for Megan and I. We have room, and honestly, there could have been probably 2 more people we could have probably fit in there. Yeah, if they stuff, and you guys wanted to kind of hang out on your balcony and stuff, and have some drinks, you could. But man, it was a gorgeous room, and like I said, it was a little smaller, but it was definitely roomy enough for the 2 of us. And we had plenty of places to put our luggage. We didn't have any issues with like tripping over top of our luggage and stuff because, you got to move around the luggage and stuff because, some of the rooms are tight. But this was just, you put the one luggage underneath the bed.
Under the bed because that was the bigger one. He had his stuff in a carry-on because we're not used to packing luggage. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is like half empty. What do we do?
It's backpacks. And then we're like, hey, let's take an extra backpack because we're going to buy a bunch of souvenirs. Well, we took the extra backpack, and guess what we didn't do? Yeah, we came back with some. We came back with some, but it wasn't enough to fill. Yeah. Because we always usually take off and buy way too much. But this time we just didn't do it. It was a fun trip. We bought stuff. Yes.
I think that
sorry, I don't know that one.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
Apparently, she wanted to chat with us. So I think that part of that is just because our past several trips have been with kids, which are really good at convincing you to buy things and spend your money. And buy also, money. Wouldn't that be great if we could buy money?
No.
But they are also there was a lot of really big designer shops. So if you really want, if like you were interested in a Coach bag or really expensive watches or things of that nature. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Then you would really have a good time and be able to spend a decent amount of money. So we were kind of like, oh, well, if I'm gifted a Coach bag, I will definitely use it. I don't know if I'm ever going to be the person that's going to be like, oh my God, I got to buy that Coach bag. So it's not marketed for me. And then
it's not your cup of tea.
Yeah. And then the Virgin shop, we ended up getting basically what we wanted, which you forgot your water bottle. So we bought him a tumbler. Yeah. And then we always buy a shot glass, which I really wish I would have left those out. Bought ourselves a shot glass to go with our shot glass collection, which I'll probably be showing you around Christmas when I get out our Christmas ornaments, which I also was able to get a really cool Christmas ornament. And then wasn't there one other thing that we got there? Maybe that was it.
We also bought the wine opener.
Oh, and then we did buy a wine opener, which I got to go get that because I know where it is. So it's really cool.
Go get that. That's in the top drawer. But yeah, the shops and stuff, I'm telling you, they outdid it with the shops. They also have a tattoo parlor on there too. So if you're interested in getting your first tattoo at sea, you could definitely check that out too. So, and a barber shop. This place, Okay. The barbershop is actually a great place to go get your hair cut, get your beard trimmed and everything, nice, good, clean shave and everything like that. And plus, they do have a salon for the ladies to go get their hair cut and styled and taken care of while they're on the ship. So
I think it was called what,
blow or something like it. Yeah, I can't.
Blow up or blow out?
Blowout's what it was. So anyway, we got this. This is a replication of a antique sextant, which is what sailors used to use when they would be at sea.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this is a bottle cap opener. So like if you got like Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola, you can use these to open them up.
Mm-hmm.
And then this, as I get it to work, twist right off. Sorry. Better put it up in there.
Squeaky squeak.
And it becomes a corkscrew. We thought this was really cool, so we had to bring this home.
Yes.
Not that we drink a lot or anything, but when we do drink bottles of wine, it's really cool to pull out these little pieces like this, and it creates those interesting conversations that we have about our travels and stuff and where we go and everything.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to end up using this on some of just like our regular like decor and things, like especially Thanksgiving or Christmas. It would probably be a part of our table setting and everything, just because it's really cool.
Yeah.
So the only thing that would have made it better is if it was silver. So, and then this is our handy dandy shot glass that we got. Very simple. It's the same thing on both sides, and it's red inside. But I really liked it. They didn't have anything branded specifically to Scarlet Lady for the shot glasses, which is fine. And just kind of nice little memento that's easy to bring home. And then this happens to be our Christmas ornament. Isn't she beautiful? Let me bring it down a little bit so you can see it in the middle. It does say Virgin and then Scarlet Lady, because that is the ship that we were on. Really happy to get that one. They actually had several different Christmas ornaments. I was super stoked about that. That's one of the things a lot of times when we go post-pandemic, it's been harder to find Christmas ornaments, which is strange to me because, I mean, a lot of people buy those.
Right. Now, one question we do get about like when we go to places is how much is their souvenirs and stuff. And to be honest with you, the souvenirs were about normal prices for like the shot glass was what, $11.
So the shot glass I think was $11.95. We paid $19.95 for the Christmas ornament, which is pretty standard, and it is glass. We spent $19.95 for your tumbler, which is almost the same size as my HHN cup. It needs to be hand washed, so that's why we're not using it this evening. And
then we also got the bottle.
Yes, so this was our most expensive purchase. It was $25. And the cool thing is this was actually in our room, and so we were like, it had a thing on it and said, hey, if you like it, just let the cabin steward know and we'll add it to your tab. It's $25. They didn't actually have these in the gift shop. You had to buy them from your room. So
so the souvenirs and stuff that it was inside the Virgin Voyages shop was, like I said, very affordable. Their hoodies and stuff, you were looking about $25, $35, depending on the type of hoodie. If it was a zip up type, obviously it's going to be a little bit more. They did have some like raincoat hoodies and stuff like that. Different things. They had t-shirts. They had some long sleeve white t-shirts. And I think there were some sleep pants in too. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I saw those.
There were some, and they had different kinds of shops too. They had a couple of different ones that had like clothing and random things. So they had really unique pajamas for the PJ party for the first night, in case you forgot to pack those. They also had different things in red, so that you could buy things for Scarlet Night, whether it was just a classic red t-shirt from the Virgin Voyages shop, or a red dress, or a red like pullover, pull over.
Pull over.
A pull over.
pull over.
So they had a lot of different things like that. So definitely lots of fun things to check out.
Now, the other thing, were kind of things that happened while we were on the ship, like sail away party. The first event that you actually get to attend to.
Yes.
We were, I don't know about you, but I was kind of blown away. I thought this was pretty cool. It would have been a lot better if it didn't downpour for about 10 minutes.
I was really nervous about it because it was supposed to start at 5:30, and about 5 minutes before, it was pouring the rain down. And then some people had already been imbibing a lot because they're like, I don't care and stuff, and they're dancing in the rain and in the pool and stuff, which fortunately they were able to do because it was just a rain shower. It wasn't like so. Yeah, but once they started things, it really the rain started to die off, and then the sun came out, and the DJ went. They introduced us to our happenings team, which was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And they started giving out champagne.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. And guys, when I'm talking champagne, I'm talking like you'd be sipping on one, and another one would be walking by. Here's more champagne, and then another one comes by. Here's more champagne, and I'm looking at her, looking at me, and we were like, "Holy crap!" It's like before we realized that we had like 4 or 5 glasses lined up on the area where we were standing in to kind of keep us out of the weather because it was just finishing up, and so just as much as you wanted to drink, and we had a good time.
It kept it going for like a good half hour
or
so.
Yeah, and then when they did the introductions and stuff, and we did the toast to our cruise and stuff, which was really cool. Never done that kind of a toast before for a cruise.
Yeah,
but it was
cool.
It was really neat to do that. And then everybody started dancing. We started listening to music, and then we sailed away and waving at people on the Miami Causeway, which was really cool. And as we were leaving, totally had a geek moment. We like to watch this one show called the Expensive Rental Places.
Oh,
or no.
It's on Netflix. Leslie, if you happen to be on here, I told you about it a couple weeks ago. Remind me what it was called.
Yeah, but anyway, it's all about rental houses.
Vacation rental something.
Yeah. God, I can see it on the screen. I just can't think of what it's called.
Anyway, they went to Miami. That was their episode, and there's 3 different people that pick out different things. One of them that they picked out was a stationary houseboat. Yeah. And we got to see it.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
And the houseboat's literally on the water floating and stuff, and it's completely 100% docked. And we were floating by, and I looked over, like, I'm like, Meg, there's that boat rental house thing. And she's like, huh? And I'm like, I started explaining. She goes, oh my God, yep, there it is. Yeah.
It took me a few.
My lips were there. But yeah, it was so cool to be able to do that. And to be able to go by the Miami Causeway with Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice, who drove their car down through there with the top down to listen to Phil Collins in the air tonight.
There you go.
There we go. Got it. So
I love it.
I did it all.
The other thing that I thought was so cool, okay, when you go in and out of Miami, I do not remember this from years ago when I went out of Miami, but they have to go into the channel basically to this where there's there's literally like a crossway of water, okay. And they have to turn the ships around. Now, Virgin, okay, so they're kind of butted up against, and we're looking like if the cruise ship is looking straight ahead, everybody else is like off to the side, to the right of them, and then they have to come in, and then they have to turn the ship around and do a 180, and so that they can go back out. Okay, so we watched this twice, and then it was our captain's turn. And this guy, he has to be a little bit cheeky. I mean, first off, he works for Virgin Voyages, so he better be. But it was kind of one of those like, look at this shit. Because he pulled it out, because you got to back away from the dock a little bit. And then he pulls it out into the, like, where there's boats everywhere, even though the police are like around and stuff. And he does almost a complete 360 and then takes us out. Could have just like kicked the but he was like, no. We're going to show you how it's really done.
You guys did okay, but this is how the real men do it. So it was kind of like a drifting with giant cruise ships,
Exactly.
So I thought it was cool. And the way this thing
was
turned,
the coolest thing.
God, the way that thing turned, it was like it was on a freaking dime. That's how quick it was like somebody was underneath it going and just okay. And man, that sucker had some power underneath of her too.
Yes, she did.
But as we were going through the causeway, it was really cool, especially when we got to the very end of it. The end of it has like a great big rock barrier and stuff to keep the sand from eroding from the beaches and stuff, and also from when the cruise ships come in and out, that they're not constantly eroding the beaches that are real close to the canal right there. So it was real cool to be on that side to watch that, because you can look on the other side of the rocks was spilling over into the canal. And then as we went through, you could see it literally spilling back over, going back into the ocean again. So it was like,
that was cool to see.
That's when you know you're on something big. So I mean, that was really cool. And then, oh my God. And then we got out to sea, and he opened her up, and it was just like we were on.
Oh my
God.
that, so
that breeze blowing through our hair, standing on our balcony.
We went down to our balcony not long after that.
Yeah. And then just kind of hanging out and doing our thing. Wow. I mean, that was so cool to be able to just sit there and look back and see another cruise ship following us out of the port, and then look forward and see one that left, like,
that was Royal.
Yeah, about like 40 minutes before us, but you could still see them because, you know, they're just big and huge. But
yeah, that was cool.
Awesome experience. And so the other thing that we got to do is we went and got to watch one of the shows and stuff. This show,
Dual Reality.
If you guys go on this cruise, you got to check out this show, because it is a good mixture of Romeo and Juliet with a little bit with the circus mixed with a little bit of West Side Story. So you got to like pick sides, or you don't pick sides when you come in. They tell you you're on blue or red.
Yeah, they actually put you like, hey, here's your blue band, or here's your red band that you can put on, and then like that's the side that you're on, and like the whole time they're like clashing together, and different people from different sides are competing basically in different feats. So it was really cool to see. So highly recommend doing that. Drag queen bingo.
Oh my God!
If you've never done it,
do it.
You got to do it on a cruise ship.
7 foot tall.
Oh my God, she was so tall and beautiful. Definitely one of those like,
hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't step on me with those stilettos. Really cool. Let's see what else. Oh, let's talk about the PJ party. Oh my God, the people walking around in some of these outfits were hilarious.
I will say we did not do the PJ because of our dinner. But the outfits at dinner, which I was shocked because our dinner was at the Wake. I thought that was going to be like more of an upscale. And then there's people in like full on 90s that is like beach bum printed on it. Like, what the heck is that?
It was a t-shirt. Now, rephrase that. They were t-shirts of a person in a 90.
Oh, okay.
Now, that wasn't an actual person walking around like that.
No, I understand that. I didn't say it right, I guess. But no.
And then the guys that was with them, the ladies had like a little sexy nightie, but it was a t-shirt. It was a sexy nightie showing off the body and everything. And the guys that was walking around with them actually had the only thing I could think of, it was like a supersized Speedo that was going up the crack and then up over their shoulders and stuff. Clean. And it's I looked at Megan and I'm like, oh my God, did you see that? She's like, yep, I did.
Yep. And people really ran the gamut with it. I mean, there was just like classic like silk PJs. Some of them were definitely a little more risque, and then other people that were just like, whatever. Kind
of reminded me like a when Hugh Hefner had like his little parties and stuff at the mansion, the Playboy Mansion and stuff, where, you know, most people would just come in like PJs and stuff, and you would have a couple people that were a little more risque and stuff like that, and listening to music, drinking drinks, and just having fun and dancing and stuff. And that's exactly what it reminded me of. So it just it was just funny to see. Like, just to sit back and people watch. Oh my God, just doing that. Great. Like you could have had entertainment all week. It was so cool to watch people. Yeah. And so the other thing, Scarlet Lady. Scarlet Night. We're talking about the Scarlet Lady. The Scarlet Night, another gorgeous event. And I'm going to tell you what, folks.
You want to wear red.
You want to wear red. These people were dressed up like you were going to prom. Like, I'm telling you guys, some of these dresses were
it was the gamut, because I ended up wearing my red polka dot dress, my mini dress. but I was seriously considering wearing just like red t-shirt and white shorts, and there were a lot of women that did that.
Yeah, and that's okay to do it.
Yep.
That's okay to do it. But if you want to go all out and wear like, if you never got to go to prom or anything, or you got wanted to have like that prom moment, dude, this was the place to do it. And I'm telling you what, there were some women that just were gorgeous, like unbelievable. I mean, not as gorgeous as you, don't get me wrong.
You're so
but
sweet.
it was just wow. And we went through the party, and it was kind of like this. And we were kind of going like claustrophobia. So we kind of, we did an appearance, and we kind of walked through and seen what it was about. And it was fun.
It would have been better if we'd gone up to the top deck, but it was so crazy to get into the midship elevators, because the aft elevators do not go all the way up. They only go up to 15. So that was a problem. And then, like we were in deck 7 when that happened, and just enclosed space anyway. Yeah. So that was where the claustrophobia hit. Yeah. That's a heads up.
And so a lot of people said that when you got up to the pool deck, and the big party was up at the pool, once you got up there, there was plenty of room to move around, obviously, and stuff. And you got the pool. If you wanted to, you could just get in the pool and dance.
Yes, someone is kissing up.
Yeah, well, I was annoying her all last week, so I do have to kiss up. I had no kids to pick on, so I had to pick on her.
I told him, guys, I was like, I can't do another trip without like Nick or somebody coming with us. And he goes, why? I was like, I need a buffer. Like, I need somebody else that you could pick on, because you were driving me insane. Yep. And that's what he did.
Yep.
He thought it was funny and kept doing it. So
yeah, I live life, stupidly. On the edge.
Stupidly.
But anyway, let's so let's go to the ports of call.
Okay. So Cozumel, that was not the port that we were expecting.
Yeah.
In the sense of, yes, it's Cozumel, but it's actually a different tender station. So it was Punta Gondista, I think. Sounds like the usual. Yes, Deb, you're right. So different shops and things from what we were expecting to do from the last time that we were there, which still, is not a problem. Everything was great. It was just, we looked out and we're like,
that's different.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And then I kind of did one of those.
Like, why is there the hospital right there?
I don't remember the hospital being there. And then I looked on up, and I realized that there was another dock.
Just up the way, there's another docking system.
But that's where
Royal and Carnival uses.
Yeah, that's where we got off up on the first time we went down there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got there. Now, remind you, it was 105. And no air movement at all. Like, it was just sweltering hot. Yeah. I'm not kidding you guys. I lost 5 pounds that day.
Are waiting and sitting and using their fans and AC instead of, for lack of a better term, harassing you. Then you know that you definitely need to get in where it's cool and rehydrate.
Yeah.
So
we did some shopping, got some really cool gifts and stuff for our little Nick, and we found a couple things for us too. So but it was a nice shopping experience, and then we decided it was too damn hot and we needed to get back on the ship.
Proud aunt moment, because we did a big group birthday for cousins and stuff with Nick's cousins on Saturday, yesterday, and I got all of the little kiddos maracas.
Yep.
And I know the parents are probably annoyed with me by now, but every kid needs maracas, so it was cool giving them something a little bit different.
Yeah, that was awesome to do that. So, and Nick, he got his first new rain stick, and the little coconut guitar thing, which I have no idea where it's at right now. So we're gonna have to locate that before we go to bed.
Probably Noah stole it again.
Yeah,
because Noah wants it.
Yeah. So,
we didn't think that one through.
No. But yeah, so Cozumel, still beautiful, gorgeous waters, great people down there.
Right next to the ferries, so it was really easy if you wanted to go into Cancun and shop for a little while, or do one of the excursions,
or go to Chichen Itza, or what have you. So there was all kinds of excursions to do. There was scuba diving, snorkeling. Just go lay on the beach if you wanted to at one of the resorts. You could definitely do that too. So
I get a day pass at an all-inclusive.
Yep.
So now I will say, oh shoot, where was I going to go with that?
Don't know.
Oh, Virgin Voyages has like some of the longest times in port that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Because we didn't actually leave port until 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are thinking about doing an excursion and it's on the mainland, it's about a 45-minute ferry ride to get over there. So don't be so stressed about it because you're going to get back in plenty of time.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of these other cruises, I mean, they leave by 4, 5, 6 o'clock. So like you're really like crunching it, trying to get in, get stuff done, come back. You've got a little bit more like, oh, I can breathe and stuff.
Well, and the great thing is you could actually go over to mainland in Texas, Mexico.
Where the heck did Texas come
I
from?
have no idea. I was thinking Tex-Mex. I don't know. But anyway, you could go over to Mexico and go over to Chichen Itza and do that and come back and still have enough time to go in and refresh up and then go over and do some shopping at the port too. So
you could
if you want to do something like that. So, but good time there. They were definitely willing to hand out the tequila. So, senor, come in, have a shot of tequila. We'll get you to buy something. No, no, thank you.
So, and then Bimini was the other one that we went to. I've never been to Bimini in the Bahamas. Scott's never been to the Bahamas.
Yeah, this
so
was the first.
I got to have something that like it was his first and not mine.
Yeah,
so like we're walking around, he goes, "Man, that is really white and like it's beautiful, like that blue water, like." You're right. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm right? So I've never been in the Bahamas before. And I'm like, how did I forget that? Like 13, I knew, but like you
13 years of marriage and we've been together since 2008 and she forgot.
You know what?
Hey,
you know what?
Yeah. It was still great to be honest with you, it was awesome to be able to walk on that beach holding hands with you and just being able to walk through that water.
Yeah.
God. But here's the thing. We got up that morning. We looked outside. I opened up.
So
I could not believe how windy it was down there that day. And we had 3 to 6 foot waves smacking against the dock and hitting the ship and creating the ship to go.
Yeah.
So it was rough. So we took our time. We had breakfast and stuff at the wake, or brunch, I should say, at the wake. And by the way, we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But we got to go do that, and then we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Well, let's just take our time, and look, maybe the wind will die down." And luckily, it did. It died down enough to where the clouds kind of parted a little bit and the sun opened up. And we just took off and we went and spent some time over at the beach club and
the beach club was protected. So if you do this cruise and it is really windy at the ship itself, go ahead and go to the beach club because it's going to be protected because it's kind of around the curve of you're going to be able to enjoy it without having sand in your face.
Right. Here's the port. And then it kind of ducks back in and here's where your beach club is. So it was kind of nice because the ship was actually acting like a buffer to keep all that wind away from the beach club, literally, if you stop and think about it. So it was awesome. I mean, it was a beautiful place. My God, that pool was freaking huge. Couldn't believe that. And the burn areas where they had these great big massive round metal sculptures of what I believe was the earth, wasn't it? Or something.
Different. Each one had something different. But it's basically big iron globe, and then it's a propane or gas fire that they light inside of it. So really pretty. I've seen photos. We were not there late enough to have them burning. Because again, they generally will do late port nights and stuff. So this one a lot of times will be there till 9 or 10.
Right.
And you get to enjoy that.
Yeah. And
sunset on the beach.
God, it was gorgeous. And so sorry, honey. I didn't clear your hair. But yeah, it was a really beautiful place down there. And to be honest with you, I imagine being with anybody else but you at the Bahamas. So that was a special time for me. But God, I did not want to leave because I knew the next day I was like, oh God, we're going to be in Miami tomorrow. And then we got to get the Uber and we got to do this. And we got to get to the airport and then we got to go home. And then
which all went very smoothly.
Yeah, it did. So, it went great. So we had a great time.
Actually, let's go ahead and talk about that. And then we'll do some snippets and stuff later about the different restaurants. Because we're running up already at 50 minutes.
I gained
don't
too
want
much
to keep
weight.
people too long. But yeah, we ended up going back into Miami on Friday morning. We had to vacate the cruise ship by 10:30. And so I had already set our debarkation time for 10:15. We went down about 10 o'clock, and there was this big line all the way around. I'm like, oh no.
Here we go.
This is going to be bad. No. 15 minutes later, we were through customs. We were waiting on our Uber over in the rideshare area. Absolutely. Like, I was floored at how well they handled everything.
Yeah. And it was so smooth. Just unbelievably smooth. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved how simple and easy it was. So basically, we got off on deck 7, same as we came in. We went around. Everybody's like, bye. You go down a set of escalators. You turn around. You go down another set of escalators. And at the bottom of that escalator, you're on the ground floor. And that's where they have all of the checked bags set up so that if you want to leave your bags out the night before for them to be able to take off of the ship for you, that's where they're going to be. So in hindsight, I wish we had done that, but I thought it was going to be outside. And so I didn't want to have to figure out where that was and then try to find where we were supposed to go.
But even with our bags, it still wasn't an issue or anything.
No, and most people had their bags with them.
Yeah, and I heard a few people going, oh, hell, we could have done that. So a lot of people didn't know they could do it. So, it was obvious to people that didn't use TAs, travel agents, and you could tell because they were just like, oh, I didn't know that, I didn't know that, I didn't know that. And
oh my gosh. Security process. So I mean, obviously, you get your bags and then you end up filing up into another line, and then they had several different agents and stuff lined up, and they're like, okay, go to 4. Which is our line that they told us to go to. So I went up. The gentleman was like, can you please look at the screen? I looked at the screen. It looked like an iPad mini, and it says, look here. I look at it. I see it blink, and it goes dark. And he goes, okay, you're good to go.
Yep, that was it. We're back in the United States.
They use facial recognition because of the facial recognition software they use for you being on and off of the ship. And then obviously our purchases and stuff, they track what you purchase on the ship. So if they need to do anything along those lines, you spend over that amount, they'll pull you to the side.
Let's back up a second. What she's talking about, if you purchase alcohol on the ships, and they have to check and see, because as soon as your name and your face will pop up with that cabin number, that will show exactly what you brought in, even if you bought it in Mexico or Bimini or wherever you're at. When you come back on the ship, you have to check it in, and they take it and they hold it until the end of either the end of this cruise, and they give it back to you the night before, so you can drink it all.
Yeah,
crazy. Or you can just keep it, and then once you get back into customs, you check
You're
it in
allowed
there.
up to a certain amount per person. I think it's 1,500 milliliters per person, and then you're allowed up to $800 in cigarettes and different merchandise and things like that before you have to start paying taxes on it. So that's what I mean by
it's considered duty free.
For the duty free. But I apologize. I wasn't very clear. I got all excited. So they use the facial recognition, and then I'd say about 95% of the cruisers are also using passports, because Virgin is very heavy on you need to have a passport. Something happens and you have to use a birth certificate, they're getting a little bit more lenient with their round trips. But again, 95% have their passports. And so you've already passed all those clearances already. So it's really simple to go, oh, okay, this is this person, here's this, everything matches, have a good day. Which just makes everything so much smoother, getting on and getting off both.
And now when you get through all the customs and stuff to go the doors, and right where you were dropped off, go right on the other side of it, your Uber driver will pick you up right there, and you just there and go. So,
and it was a little bit of chaos.
There was a lot of people that didn't really understand where to go or anything.
Sign in a little bit difficult to see because it's Florida, and the roughage and everything grows really fast.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked up and I was like, oh, that's where it says rideshare. I was like, we got to go around here, and then getting through the people with all their bags so that we could get through and get to where we needed to be. But yeah, and then got into the Uber, in the vehicle, as soon as like we double checked that everything was good and had our luggage in there, and he pulled right on. It was really a smooth process once you got through all the people that didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
Which we were one of those people for a few minutes too. So I mean, it's just what happens. Embarkation and debarkation. They try to make it simple, but
all around. Would you do the cruise again?
I would. I would do a shorter cruise, like the 4-nighter or something like that. And 5 nights was fine. I liked a couple of sea days and such. I just really missed having Nick. Like I missed our kids.
I agree.
So for Scott and me, it's not exactly the best market for us, just because we can't take our kids with us.
Yeah.
If Nick could go, we would be on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed everything. I don't know what he would eat because it's very adult forward food, and we'll be talking about that at another time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next show.
But
there's a lot to talk about with the food. There's so much more that we need to talk about with this cruise that we just can't
I wanted
cover
to give
in one show.
I wanted to give an overview of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
But I would do it again. I would do it with friends. I think that the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a little hard to do certain things for just like the two of us. They really kind of are pushing to have like everybody together and getting along and making friends and I don't want to say hookups and stuff, but like friendships, like lasting friendships and everything. So, for instance, the one restaurant we didn't do, which I'll say really quickly, Goon Bay, they have all 6-seater tables. They do not have 2-seater or 4-seater tables. Like you're going to be sitting with people you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's part of the appeal. But at the same time, my introverted self is like, can I have some of my friends with me so that I don't have to talk to strangers? Like.
And then you've got me who knows no strangers.
Yes.
So I ain't afraid to talk to anybody. I'll start making somebody talk, no matter whether they want to or not. But.
And we met some really great people too. I mean,
yes, we
met a lady that was from Pittsburgh, California. So she was absolutely lovely.
And a beautiful Steelers fan. I could not believe it. She's just like.
They were just in
diehard
Pittsburgh,
Steelers fans
last year. So.
No, just this beginning of the season.
Oh, was it the beginning? I thought it was last season.
No, just this season. They were just here in beginning of September, actually, when the season started. So they were just literally in town. So
got to meet them. We had some fantastic interactions with staff, which was really great.
Another shout out to Paul, my man.
Yes, Paul from the Wake, phenomenal. Absolutely loved Nina from Pink Agave, and then we saw her again a couple of times up in Let's Talk About It.
Yeah.
She worked up there for a couple of days. And of course, Pasta was our cabin steward.
He was good.
Definitely. That man knows his stuff. He was phenomenal. Had no issue. I told him, I said, we've never cruised with you guys before. He went through and he showed me so many things in that cabin that I never in a million years would have known.
Oh my God. Yeah. If he wouldn't have showed us that, we would have never known they were even there. So and we were still learning stuff. I think day 2, literally we were just like, I didn't know it did that.
I was checking under the bed. Okay. Making sure I didn't leave anything, like something didn't fall out of my suitcase that was underneath the bed. Scott's in the shower, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I pull out a drawer, and it had extra blankets and extra pillows and all. And I'm like,
are you fucking kidding me? There was more pillows?
5 days.
There was more pillows?
There was more pillows.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I had no idea that these were drawers. So, I mean, yes, that was definitely plenty of storage space.
Yeah. Anyway, great cruise, great staff. We had a great time. The food, my Lord, we'll talk about that on the next show, but it was phenomenal. We had a blast.
Absolutely great.
Missed our little guys, and when I say little guys, I'm talking about tall 24-year-old all the way down to the 6-year-old. We did miss everybody, but it was nice to get away for our anniversary and just read. She read a book and I slept.
Me too.
I slept.
Yes, he did.
I was like, oh my God.
I was downloading footage because we needed to know what else we needed to get. And all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck? Like that, we literally just started. So.
Yes, and we missed the dogs, by the way. And shopping in Mexico before when we were down there, so it has not changed at all.
Yes,
but we found some good deals. So
yeah, we did.
That's all.
So, anywho's, please do us a favor. Let us know if you like the new time and the new day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing this over the next several weeks, hopefully the next couple of months. Let us know if you like 7 p.m. on Sunday nights. And really looking forward to doing this on Sundays.
Yeah.
Get our week started right, talking about travel. That's going to be so much fun. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you're following us on all.
Indeed, definitely do that. And like I said before, thank you to all the 403. Sorry, I had the members mixed up again. Some new subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Like I said before, we do appreciate the love and support we continue to get from you guys. And please let everybody know about Plum Crazy Adventures so that we can continue to grow and get in front of everybody that you know. So that way everybody can see how crazy we really are. But
I agree, Deb. No doctor's appointments on Sundays.
Yeah, there you go. Another part of the reason why they actually came up with the conversations. At least Mom and Dad can definitely join us because they won't be exhausted from the doctor's appointment. So,
yeah.
But anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be here at 7 o'clock on Sunday.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday evening.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about a little more about the Virgin Voyage cruise that we went on and all the different eateries they have there. And you guys better have your dinner in you because I guarantee it, by the time we get done talking, you're going to be wanting to eat again. So anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys next Sunday. And as always, are you guys ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Guys, we're ready to get you there.
On Virgin Voyages. Later. Bye, guys. See you next week.